Well, team, would you look at that? We got ourselves a breakout again. So all the shorts out there, anybody on this side, not doing too good. It's going to be all about the red, white, and blue, of course, this weekend. But right now, nothing but green on the screen. Let's get to the action. Let's start taking a look at this market. What a breakout here in the SPY. This is the weekly chart, of course. And we were looking at it pretty extended there. It pulled back for just a second. Take a look at the weekly. Now we're really closing back above that week on the 16th and showing a huge move right back up. So, of course, we had that 16th week where it got up there towards 443.90s. Today, right now, 443.90s and got up there into the 444.14s, breaking the highs there, new highs. And who knows, we might be closing at new highs here. We'll see if we get above this 439.46. I definitely think we're going to close above that. So we'll have a new high on the year and really pushing towards it could get to 460s, man. We could be near and I mean, I really don't think it's out of the realms for us to get there back towards 480s by the end of the year. Could it be all-time highs by the end of the year? Even though I don't think anybody was calling a hold like that. And definitely the bulls in full control today. Technology taking another leap forward. Apple having a good day. Let's go through some of the stocks here. Look at Apple. Big push up. And what is it doing? Holding the 9 EMA on every pullback. I drew this line on the 8th of June. Let's expand it. If it doesn't break that line, we can't really get bearish on Apple, man. It is strong as can be right now. Let's keep going. Let's go to Microsoft. Let's take off some of these lines. You know what? Let's erase these lines, even though, these are important because the golden cross outlook that I could see it really early on in the market. Now we're really kind of ripping higher. I mean, take a look at the weekly here on Microsoft. You're almost back there to, dare I say it, all-time highs. We could be very close towards it. Is this a bear market? Hell no. We are in a strong, strong bull market right now. And if anything, this just shows me that we cannot step in front of this. If this is not going to break, don't step in front of this. You're going to get run over if you're trying to short a stock like this. We'll see what happens. Microsoft holding up here, now taking a move higher and can continue to run, right? I mean, we could kind of just bounce off of this level, get back above the 9 EMA and hold that there, going back towards the 350s. Microsoft, not looking too bad. Let's keep going down the line. We can go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA was one of my top watch today for a big up move. Talked about it on pre-market prep. And I'm not going to lie, I might have to start stepping up to the plate and buying in the pre-market. Not necessarily something I do. But this morning when that PCE report hit, the first thing I said, man, I might want NVIDIA at 412.50. Because if we're going to get this big up move in the market today, NVIDIA is definitely one of those that could just run. Good move today there. It opened up at 413.25s and took off there to a high of 421, 425.50s. So big move up on NVIDIA today. We'll look to see if this can continue to climb towards the close. All those shorts in NVIDIA, they got the squeeze put on them. That's for sure. All right, let's keep going, team. Smash the like out there. NVIDIA continuing higher. Anybody that tried to short Meta, well, you've been getting wrecked. And I'll tell you one thing. That one time, I got wrecked once, at least, on Meta in the last couple of weeks. I tried to call it short because I thought that maybe with the Apple VR, that this would be at least a little bit of a turnaround. But there you guys see it. It's still holding on. It could get through this 290 and keep pushing. So I had this line earlier, but you know what? Let's delete all that because the truth is that we need to be looking at longer term trend. And right now, unless this weekly trend breaks, there is no reason to go short on Meta. So we will draw these trends and we will see when these stocks actually do break these trends. But for right now, we are in full bubble mode. I can't believe it. People are kind of like, I don't know if it's they're scared about using that term, but this is the truth. We're in a bubble right now. This is a bubble. The way that the stocks are reacting, it just goes to show me how big this AI bubble can really get. It could just be getting started. Of course, I know a lot of traders traded that .com area, and this seems like that era because the way that the stocks are moving, I mean, they're just running through all the highs, not looking back and not looking like they want to turn around. Google, let's go to that one. Big move, of course, on the weekly. It's been pulling back. So this is actually giving us an opportunity here, I feel like, in Google, that if you feel the stocks are going to continue ripping higher, we could actually get Google on a pullback here. Off the 118s, doesn't look too bad off of that level. It rejected to come back into this 115 gap. So I'm going to delete some lines here, but Google looks like it wants to just continue chugging along here. It did pull back a little bit, but now that it's pulled back, if I draw from this little pullback time in March, draw a trend line, look how that's starting to hold. If it can hold the 50 moving average, which is right below it at that 118, I'm still liking Google here. I'll draw this a little thicker and we'll just continue to watch it to see if it can continue the trend. Maybe make a move here to 130. And if anything, Google could still do a big move. If it does a weekly move to 130 and starts to push here, well, we could be pushing right back up towards like this trend line hold. So you guys can see this. This is on the weekly chart. And this seems like a really strong weekly trend that we're starting to hold on pullbacks. And if that could hold right around here, right around that 118, we get a nice drive up to 130 next week. Google is going to be looking hella strong. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look. Is there weak stocks here at the top? I'm going by capitalization. Look at AVGO. Look at this weekly. These are strong weekly candles. Yes, we did get pullbacks on the daily, but the daily isn't what's looking right now. I'm looking at those weekly trends, and they're pretty strong right now. AVGO up there to 867. Could eventually take out that 921, and this has just been stair-stepping higher. Oracle, nice little pullback. Just made a little bit of a run this morning. Has pulled back a significant amount. This looks like an opportunity for me. I'm not going to take a swing trade on it just yet, but man, this doesn't look too bad here on Oracle. Look how big of a run this has had since January. It's a big move. We'll look to see if it can continue to hold. This one, I would just maybe just look at the gap. As long as that gap never gets filled or it never gets into that gap, that 114 level, well, I still see this as bullish also. Let's keep going. Adobe, you guys know I got stopped out on it earlier in the week. And I was, I still made a really decent short on this, kind of this head and shoulders formation. But now this is actually turning around into more of a bullish setup, right? If anything, I would be careful there if I was short on Adobe now, because if we get above this level here towards the 495, I feel like you could squeeze right back up and start squeezing higher. So as long as this holds the 9 EMA, that light blue line around the 480s now for pullback, I would be looking at Adobe for potentially a nice little up move. So we got a nice little up move today where we went from around 482s to 492s. We'll look to see if this one makes a move into the 500s next week. That's Adobe. Of course, AI name definitely related. I still can't believe I called it down here at 380s. I never got the opportunity to take the long on Adobe, and it's just run and run and run. Every time it comes to the 9 EMA right now, pulling back and holding, 9 EMA for me is a very good measurement for momentum. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other stocks here. Of course, I'm just going to keep it going down the line, and you guys see a theme here, right? The top leading stocks are looking good. If anything, looking really strong. Look at CRM, holding pullbacks, just needs to make a move there back towards 218, 220s. This looks still good. As long as it can hold that 204 pullback, I think this is still looking good for the upside also. Cisco. This one looks like it's trying to get back here and create kind of a little bit of a cup and handle pattern. Do you guys see that one? I mean, clear cup and handle for me there. You guys can see it there. It's kind of like this big old round area here. So we'll see if it can break above that level. That's really what you want to be watching now. Can you get above here with a big breakout? So this is going to be a big level to watch for. We'll see if we get it back above that. And if we can get it back above that, there was this big support line that Cisco broke back in 2022 that we'd be recovering, which is 53.25. You get back above that, and there you go. You're right back into kind of that pre-drop era and still climbing on Cisco. ACN starting to come back. AMD was a great opportunity today. Today, I actually day traded this one, just sold it too quickly as this one climbed up there to 114.60. And this actually doesn't look bad there. It looks like it wants to continue to climb. I'll be watching to see if AMD can have a good week next week. If we take a look at the weeklies still look great here, and a nice little pullback opportunity. Now you got double bottoms near the weekly around that 107.50 area. Now I'd be looking for this to come back here towards the highs, up towards that 130s. We'll see what happens in next week on AMD. All right, guys, I'm going to keep going through different stocks, but I wanted to get through some of those. Of course, I did want to tell you guys a little bit about my swing trade action. So today I took a shot in a stock today that I recently bought and sold from the 31 up there to 36. I'm back in Intel, baby, with a nice little bullish day like today. I took my shot off that little pullback that we had recently. We recently got there towards 34.15 highs. I took a shot today at 33.38. So if you guys see, we're not even far from that level. So we'll see what happens here on Intel. Can I get another swing trade in the green on Intel? We'll find out. What I got to do this time is I'm going to risk off of the 33s. If the 33s break, I can get out of this name, but I'm going to look for a move back up through the 34s, up through the 36. I'll take some profits and then look for a move to maybe 40 or 45. Let's find out if Intel really wants to run. All right, let's catch up with the chat. How we doing out there? I just want to see you guys in the chat. I know a lot of you guys stuck around from this earlier time. Normally, I start this at 3. I just had some other things that I needed to line up today. Big weekend, of course, July 4th. I hope you guys stay safe out there. Had to get some fireworks, get ready for it, and going to have a little bit of some fun. I know that you guys out there will have some fun, and we'll be back, of course, on July 5th, right? Because on the 3rd, the markets will close a little early. So I'm not going to do a start swing trade show on that day, but I'll be back on the 5th. So stick around, team. It's going to be a short week next week. So we'll see what happens here. If we get some fireworks towards the close, I don't think we will. I think we're going to get a little bit of a quiet era here towards the end, but we'll find out. Q's just made an attempt to get towards the highs on the day. Highs on the day, 370.49. We just got there towards 370.28 and pulling back a little bit. We'll see if we hold those 370. XOM starting to fall off from that 107. I've been waiting for this drop off here. Now we're really starting to get a little bit of a drop off. Do I step up to the plate and take a swing on the swing trade, guys? I am going to take a little bit of a swing here, guys. So, of course, I've already made some profits, and I already have a position from 108.42. I want to increase this position and look to see if oil could come right back down. So I got no problem taking a little bit of an increase on this. I did close my Chevron for a win. So I'm adding here at the 107.42. That just brought my average to 107.92. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to hold off kind of 108.50s and look to see if XOM can break down this long-term trend right back to the downside. I drew this yesterday, was talking about how that was my entry up here, looking for this to come right back down. We went right to the trend line today and rejected it. So now I got to take my shot. We'll see what happened. Look at that drop. Boom, already to 35, 34s. We'll see if this comes right back down and starts to crack. Is Kenny effing Glick coming on Trade the Close today? I don't know, man. Kenny Glick is not coming on Trade the Close. Well, maybe he's on a different, maybe he's on Joel Elkanen's one. What's going on out there, guys? How we doing? Raz, it's good to see you guys in the chat. Can it be growth? Ooh, CGC disaster. I mean, you know how it goes sometimes, team. I mean, I gotta say it. I mean, it doesn't mean that all cannabis stocks will be disaster. That's what I would say. I know that CGC is a disaster, but just stay tuned, guys. I still have faith in some cannabis investments in the long run. All right, let's see what else is going on out there. What's going on, Manny? How we doing? Did you swing KRP? Easy money, KRP. Let me see that. Nice little reversal there on oil and gas. Nice little turnaround. Car for the swing. There you go. That's continuing going. That's not a bad looking chart there for a swing before earnings next month. I like the outlook there, Smoke Tuna. All right, black gold is looking bold. You know it, man. That oil out there, really Adobe, but some don't want to buy near that price. Yeah, that's the hard part. That's the truth. Jay, Adobe, give yourself a pat. You called 75 points ago. Yeah, the truth is, Jay, though, I would have loved to have gotten Adobe, and I've been looking for a pullback, but what happened was when it broke 380s, it went so fast to that 400 that I was like, all right, well, just come back right below 400 and I'll take a shot off that 380. Never gave me a shot. All right, what happened there? OPEC is the short squeeze of the earth. We'll see what happens. Mitch, there was a lot of double bottoms on the beach today, thinking that it was definitely a bull market. I see what your eyes are catching out there, Wisdom. Be careful, those double bottoms. There's sometimes triple bottoms, if you know what I mean, man. All right, let's keep going. Raz, what's going on out there? Jay, CGC joining Mullen soon? Oh, yeah, CGC's gone, but hey, that's the truth. All right, I did want to touch some headlines, of course, this week that I thought were interesting. There's some that will be more interesting than others, but I wanted to just kind of flow through it. I did see that Meta launched a Meta Quest VR subscription service, which gives you access to VR titles. So I think this could be another driver in VR, of course. They call themselves the Meta platforms, and they want to focus on VR. If there's anything that I want to see is what's going to happen here, right? I'm going to be looking to see maybe getting the Quest 3. I gotta check out some VR life. So we'll see what happens on Meta. If it takes a move up to 290s, there is still this gap to fill to the 300s. I could see this making at least that move to 300. We'll find out if it's able to hold 9 EMAs on pullbacks, or does this eventually just come crashing, right? Well, I'll tell you one thing. It needs to come down, way down, before I even think about going short on Meta. All right. What else is being called out there in the chat? Microsoft. Is Tesla? Are we getting some dropping here towards the close? Let's see. Ooh, a little drop off towards the close here. A little falling off the tape. A little falling off the wagon. People don't want to hold on stocks through the weekend. Can you believe it? We'll see if the Qs pop up a little bit. Do I scalp the Qs, man? Take 1,000 shares. No, I'm not going to do that, team. I'm just joking around. But yeah, it's okay to take a little bit of a pullback. I mean, take a look at the sectors today. They were super strong. I mean, this pullback is going to be kind of warranted throughout the weekend, right? If you had that nice run, probably taking some profits right now. Even utilities made a nice move today. Financials falling off a little bit. Industrials staying strong. So definitely watch out. Those industrials, man. And Honeywell got up there to 208, man, from 200. I'm still kicking myself that I didn't just stay in this. It was just so slow on Honeywell, but I just feel like this is going to keep climbing. Maybe get to 220s, 230s. And from 200, that's not a bad move. We'll see what happens there in Honeywell. Of course, I also heard that Honeywell might be getting a benefit because of the forest fires that are out there. We'll see what happens. Caterpillar getting another move up towards 246. Of course, I still have Deere, guys. I got Deere yesterday. You guys saw me grab that one. That's at 401.44. And I'm just going to keep holding. I'm looking for that nice little move above this trend line and then just to break, right? And so if it can break right back up there towards like the 420, you know I like my 420 up here. We'll see. Let's draw this a little green. When it gets up into that green, baby, we're going to take it. We'll find out if it gets to that 420 green. Deere, get back up there, Deere. Give me through that 420. Then let's look up there and see if we can get back to 440s. That'd be a nice move in Deer. All right, hindsight 2020, it should have got more Tesla back at 180. Yeah, I can't blame you. At 180, yeah, that looks like a really nice price. One thing to keep in mind, Tesla had this trend line here, and always look for those kind of trend line breaks and then those little pullbacks, because Tesla did break here through the 200, then gave you this look the very next day on Wednesday, that 31st, towards 195. Those are the type of pullbacks that usually give us a nice opportunity if we're a little late to the move to maybe take a shot off of it. But you got to risk pretty tight, because now you're buying the breakout versus buying the dip down here around the 163s. I was trying to buy Tesla down around there, 163. It did this whoosh towards like 154, stopped me out a couple of times, and then eventually just did a huge run right back up. So I can't blame you, Wisdom. I was trying to get it in the 160s, but I got stopped out through that line. That red line there, that was the one day that I got stopped out. You can see it. I got created it on May 12th, updated it on May 15th. Yeah, I got hit through that one. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on in the market here. Home Depot was one that I sold earlier in the week that I bought at 301, sold it at like 310s. It's up there already, back up to its 310s, and could keep going. This was a nice little pullback to maybe buy. Of course, everyone makes fun of my lows, but that's up to 226. That keeps going. We'll look to see if it keeps pushing. Netflix, nice move higher today. We'll see if this can get up there. Can this get all the way into that new gap above it? That's 460. And then there's another gap up there to 508. What a big move in Netflix since that bottoming action in 22, when most people were, calling the decline on Netflix. It came back. Streaming? Come on, man. It isn't going away. People are addicted to Netflix. They have to have it. Trust me. That's how the wife is here. I can't cut it. I've tried, team. She won't let me. She won't let me cut it. All right, let's keep going, team. You guys smash the like out there. It's like getting slapped by a grandma. What's going on? Did you trade Smith & Wesson? Oh, no, I didn't get that Smith & Wesson. That's a nice little push there. I like the pullback here off the 13s. Doesn't look too bad here. Got to keep Smith & Wesson on the watch. This is not a bad. If it can come back through that 1350 on like Monday or Tuesday, oh, not Tuesday, of course, but start getting back up through that 1350s, it doesn't look too bad there. I know there was an upgrade earlier in the week. We'll find out. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what other stocks are out there in the market. Apple's so sick. Yeah, Apple's just a monster, dude. Dennis today, I feel for my man Dennis Dick. He was like, no, Apple, you don't want that at like 70 times earnings. This thing just can't get stopped. It just keeps going higher, dude. What an opportunity it was when it started getting back above this kind of 155 area. It fought for so long to get above this 155 area. And then, of course, what does it do? It gets above it. It comes back to it. 155.98, went to 156, and then really started taking off. But this is holding that trend. This isn't turning around. I'm not getting in front of it. It's a freaking monster, dude. And it just keeps ripping, too. It doesn't look like it's going to turn around anytime soon. Is TSM going to make a move higher? I don't know, man. This is scary to me. Why is TSM not joining the rally? Is this because of China? I don't know, man. That's why I think no one touches TSM. That's why I don't think it's up there to like 150s or 200. They just don't want to touch it. TSM shorts? I don't know, man. Intel, what's up with you? You going to get hit here towards the close, or are you going to make a move up? Oh, it was just moving up there to 33.45s. Doesn't look that good. It's 354, 355s coming up, team. We got about 5 minutes left here. Let's go through some of the top news this week. Of course, Kellogg's was an interesting one. Goldman Sachs upgrading Kellogg's to buy earlier this week. It pulled back. significantly off of that, now starting to come back for that level. We'll see if Goldman can keep this moving higher. Costco is trying to do cutting measures on membership card sharing fraud. So, like Netflix cutting down on their sharing, well, Costco is cutting down on their sharing. That's giving them the lift off. This was one stock that I wanted in the 500 off the monthly break. And man, this is really starting to take off. Costco getting a big move. You guys know I actually traded BJ earlier in the week and made a nice little call on this where I made a nice little like 3-4% gain. You know what? I'm willing to take another shot on BJ here. Let's take a little bit of a long here. I'm taking a 63.06 entry. I'm going to risk off this 61 and start looking for this to really start getting back up there. This used to be really pushing towards the highs. So this has fallen off the wagon, giving me sideways consolidation. What I really need is a break, clear break above 64, but I'm willing to take a shot. I'm grabbing a little bit more of BJ. All right, let's keep going. Roblox getting some AI hosting earlier this week. It came back down on that mention. Hasn't really taken off. This one, I don't know too much about. I don't believe too much. Snow giving us a lot of news all week. It didn't really take off, though. If anything, it's actually pulling back now. Is this a little bit more of some topping action that we're seeing in Snow? That's one thing that I would be a little bit concerned about. Really need to get this back above that kind of like 185 because these could just be like kind of blow off tops here on Snow. Can we get back up there through 185 next week? Wells Fargo upgraded Pinterest. That's been one that's been hot as of late. You can see how that's pulling back. That looks like it wants to fill the gap on the downside. Be careful on a little bit of a pullback towards that, I'd say around 2650s is what I see there. We'll see what happens there. Micron beat estimates, but taking a smackdown. It's still going down. Not what you would expect to see if we're going to get in this, big push up to the upside. McCormick exceeded estimates. Netflix sees optimism around revenue speculations. Of course, if you actually saw, Netflix took off their lower price basic plan in Canada. So I think that's helping them get a little bit of a lift. Nike missing estimates, pulling right back down. Will Nike just go lower? I thought maybe what about a Skechers short the other day? And look how Skechers actually takes off. This is just how it is, man. I'm just glad I didn't take the short. Look at that one, man. What a beast. Can you imagine, guys? I don't run away from what I talk about, man. I was talking about a short on this name. Look at that thing. Holy crap. That thing took off today. I'm just glad I didn't step in front of it. What small cap are you looking at? I got you, man. QS is my small cap. I'm continuing to grind it. Took some profits today at 808. Got this at 695. Look at the daily chart. So what I did was I got this on the 7 going down. I added around the 680s. About the 695 entry. And now we're up there towards the 8. I had to take some profits here towards resistance, but I'm looking for the next move higher, which could push it back there towards like 9, 10, maybe even 12 on QuantumScape. And why am I going after QuantumScape? All because of mentions from Toyota about solid state battery looking for the lift. It's 358. Let's keep going. Skechers for the lift. Skechers, man. Who's wearing the Skechers out there? You know you got them on. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at the strongest stocks in the market. At least I feel like it as of late. Carnival, man. I remember there was someone in the chat talking about swing trading Carnival up here around 1550s. I couldn't do it, but what a move there. 1880s. You guys remember I've been calling the cruise lines for a while. I sold Norwegian way too early. I sold it at 17, guys. It's up there now to 21. That's another 28% that I missed out on. It's how it goes sometimes, team. But we are getting up there closer towards the next resistance. RCL up there to 103. Look at the airlines, though. It seems like a lot of things taking off. And what did I talk about today on pre-market prep? You guys saw it. Talked about what? Hilton. Talked about Marriott. talked about Hyatt, all three of them in the green. And of course, Airbnb was talked about a little bit today. That's trying to get going. I even tried to play this a little bit. It just couldn't really get the move. But Hyatt looks really good on the daily. That's starting to push. We'll see if it gets out of this symmetrical triangle. Hilton with a nice little push up today. We'll see if these can continue to run. It doesn't look like it's a recession right now. Marriott looks like it wants to get back to maybe even all-time highs. We'll look to see if that continues to push. Looks great, but we'll see if these can continue flying high. I'll see you guys, like always, back here July 5th, but don't miss pre-market prep on July 3rd. Yes, we'll still have pre-market prep. I'll see you guys there. Be safe out there this weekend. Be careful with the fireworks, especially when around the little ones. I've just seen too many kids get burned with fireworks. But be safe out there. Have fun. A little pinkies up. But you guys have a great time. Always good to have you guys here. And appreciate you guys always sticking around for Start Swing Trade. We'll see you guys, like always, next week. And have a great time, man. Time to get a little bit of a little bourbon in me. A little double Woodford. It's calling my name. I'll see you guys. Take care.